Hello, dear friends. With you, Naya, I have some very good news for you. The generic animals mod has been updated, and there are so many updates at once that it took a whole from a separate review. For those who meet with the mod for the first time, I will say that this is one of the most successful modifications on pets of those that I have met so far. Well, to make sure of this, you can click on the pop-up link and see my previous review of this mod. So, what did the original developers please us with this time? First of all, the mod has been updated to the 16th version of the main. By the way, there's a link to it down there in the description. Updates also relate to the mod for the version of Lane 115.2. One of the most important chips that I personally have been waiting for is that the sex of animals will no longer be a convention as it was before. Previously, animals only looked like males and females, but in fact, they were asexual. Now these differences are real, and for breeding you will need representatives of both sexes. However, if for some strange reason you don't like it, then you can get into the configs and make changes. Then the animals will ignore their gender and will be able to reproduce at random, according to the usual Minecraft mechanics. From now on, when interacting with an animal, we will have an interface with data about this very animal. To call up the interface, you need to sit down and right-click on the animal. In principle, it does not matter with an empty hand or not. Let's take a look at this beautiful cow. And that's how many interesting things we are seeing here. A bunch of tabs, inventory slots, some icons. What is needed? I will explain to you in detail now. First, there is a tab with a book and a row with icons. Here on the left, the type of animal is indicated. If the animal has a name, then instead of specifying the type, it will be it. Then the icons. Here the symbol indicates the sex of the animal. As you can see, this is our bull. Then there is a heart, and this is an indicator of health. It doesn't seem quite clear why this is necessary, but if you don't have a J like I do, then you can only speculate about the animal's health. And so, if the animals have any damage, then it will immediately be reflected on the health icon. Let's lightly smack our bull a couple of times for clarity. You see, the heart is no longer monotonous. This is because health has decreased. Then we have a hunger indicator. Previously, when interacting with us in the chat, a message about the degree of satiety of the animal floated out. But now you can see it right here. If it decreases from the bone, it means that the animal is gradually starving. However, in the pastures, she will quickly satisfy her hunger without your intervention. And this is the last thing. This, according to the developer, will be a scale of domestication. But so far it does not work. So we don't look here. From what else you should know about these indicators? If we have a female, and she is pregnant, it will be visible if you hover the cursor over the gender icon. Also, the gender icon will be filled in white, depending on the stage of pregnancy. Let's experiment with reproduction for clarity. Let's take a lamb and feed them with a sec. Here they were covered with hearts, and in theory, the girl was supposed to get pregnant. But if you run to check right away, you won't see any changes. Do not be alarmed. Pregnancy is not immediately visible, which is actually logical. Wait a few minutes and then check again. See? Now pregnancy information appears if you hover the cursor over it. Also, the gender symbol began to fill with white. When it is fully filled, you and I will have small balls. At the bottom under the icons, you can see information about the animal. First of all, the age in Minecraft days, then the origin. In the wild, it is not known, but if the animal was born to you and the parents had names, then here will be the name of the father, and under it the name of the mother. To the left of the image of the animal, we see slots in which you can place equipment for this very animal. And that's where the developer really pampered us. First of all, we can now ride not only horses, llamas, and pigs, but also cows and fly agarics, and not just to ride, but to ride almost completely. To do this, we are given a whole bunch of different saddles and bridles. All of these saddles differ in the shape and color of the stirrups. This variety is made to please horse riding lovers. It is especially noteworthy that all saddles as well as bridles can be painted. This is done on the same principle as with leather armor. And I think it's just fucking cool. You can't craft saddles, but don't worry, they are sold from traveling merchants and villagers. Let's try it out. First of all, let's go to the bull and right-click on it. We'll be on horseback right away, but how else? But we can't control it. In order to manage, we need to put a bridle on the bull. The simplest bridle can be crafted from pieces of iron and leather or threads. Any others should be bought from merchants. We take the bridle and click it on the bull with the right mouse button, or you can use the interface. It doesn't matter. Now we get on horseback and see that we can guide our bull wherever we want. The bridle is also worn on llamas and fly agarics. You can also put a bridle on the sheep, but it will be displayed as a halter and you will not be able to ride the sheep. Well, then, why do you need a saddle? If you can ride without it, you're absolutely right. You can, but if we put a bull and a saddle on it, we can also jump. Not as high as on a horse, but a block and a half, and cows and fly agarics and llamas are quite capable of overcoming. From the means of controlling the riding animals, a fishing rod with a carrot is also available to us. It acts in a classic way, and this action applies not only to pigs, but also to llamas, cows, and fly agarics. However, even if you put the saddle down and guide the animal with a fishing rod, you will not be able to jump. To jump, you need to have both a saddle and a bridle. Well, there is also this lowest slot in this column. Here we can put a choice of a mat or a collar. Yes, you heard right. Mats can now be placed not only on llamas, but also on cows and pigs. And it's awesome in my opinion. No, just look at how cool my bull looks with a rug and a saddle on its back. In my opinion, the expression like a saddle on a cow has just acquired a new meaning. And collars. Collars are also a mega cool thing. The simplest collars can be crafted from thread or leather, while others are sold from merchants or residents. And you can put them on absolutely all animals from fashion. That is, cows with fly agarics, pigs, sheep, lamb, rabbits, and chickens. Collars come with a bell, and this bell will ring differently depends on which animal you put it on. Collars are also painted like leather, so you have great opportunities to distinguish your pets from other animals. In addition, the collar can be used as a temporary replacement tag. If you call it on the anvil and then put it on the animal, then the animal will be assigned the same name. In other words, it will be displayed in the interface when viewed. Why temporary? Yes, because as soon as you remove the collar, it will disappear, and of course, the name assigned by the collar will not be displayed in the pedigrees of the offspring. Some animals, namely cows, fly agarics, llamas, pigs, and lambs, have this tab with a chest, and this is the inventory of a pack animal. To use it, you need to put a chest here, or, holding the chest in your hand, right-click it on the animal. The slots around seem hazy and out of order, but it's not. Take an item and transfer it from your inventory to the inventory of the animal. The chest will disappear, and the cells will become active. If you want to pick up the chest, you can do it by pulling out all the items from your pack animal's inventory. When the inventory is empty, the chest is visible. So far, all animals have Buke's inventory as standard 15 slots. But in the future, the developer wants to change this so that large animals can carry more, small ones less. Unfortunately, the changes made so far do not apply to horses, dogs, and cats. That is, you will not be able to put a bridle on a horse and throw a saddle with a vol-trap from a rug on her back. And collars on cats, dogs too, are not yet put on. But the developer promises that these animals, and first of all horses, will be closely engaged in the very near future. Well, we'll wait. In the meantime, Let's see what else has changed in fashion. The changes with the horns of cows caught my eye. They have become more elegant in my opinion. Also, the fly agaric has acquired a new color and also began to look better. The names of all eggs are spelled out in the sense of chicken, and there are no less than a whole bunch of them in fashion. I didn't even count how many exactly, to be honest. The polls were very pleased. Now they interact even better with each other, as well as with vanilla fences. From fences and poles, you can build any kind of the craziest designs. By the way, chickens will no longer count a vertical pole as a roost, only a horizontal one. Special breeds of animals are now spawned in villages, and the influence of biomes on spawn animals with certain genetics has also been improved. Added a lot of textures and genes for animals. Some model improvements related to genetics have been made. A new artificial intelligence for animals on a leash, and now they can graze even on a leash. Here are some interesting changes that have occurred with the generic animals mod. Personally, I like this mod more and more with each update, and I'm already looking forward to the developer dealing with horses, kittens, and dogs. I wonder if it will be possible to ride dogs like northern huskies, and what colors and behaviors the kittens will have. And what do you think about this, dear friends? You can write your ideas in the comments under this video. I will definitely inform the developer of the most interesting ones. If you liked the video, don't forget to put your finger up and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, go to the contact group. And that's it for today. See you soon. Bye-bye.